So let's get hype for what should be a very hype series.
Just a bomb upgrade in Link's chest.
Not necessarily a bad thing to find early, because you can easily max out on bombs early in a seed without even meaning to. And it looks like the sign strat did not work, so EmoSaru is going for a backup using a bush. Oh wow, that is a good tree pull. 8 packs of bombs. You can actually go through Hyrule Castle with that, because you have enough bombs to beat the enemies and knock them out of the way. So yeah, that would be possible.
Not to mention, you've got 15 now, not just 10.
Absolutely. Ooh, and we already have a defense upgrade with Blue Mail. Vascos is not going to make that play of running into Hyrule Castle with just bombs. Going to opt for Sanctuary. EmoSaru is doing the same. And looks like the Sanctuary chest in this seed has a small key. So now the question is, oh, map check already. Ooh, that was a quick map check. Looked like Tower of Hera had a crystal with blue pendant at Eastern. I did not see Desert.
Desert was also a crystal. Now in this version 27 of the logic, you get red crystals showing you crystals 5 and 6. So it's much easier to get that visual cue.
Yep, that's neat.
I'm pretty sure that Desert was blue.
Yep, Desert was blue. And the Lumberjack Cave check, which both runners have looked at, looked like a shield upgrade. So knowing that, you would not have to do AGA 1 for that item. You could still have to do AGA 1 for progression, though, so you're not out of the woods yet on that front. Speaking of the woods, that's where our runners are, the Lost Woods. We have a big 20 where the mushroom usually is.
Vascos goes for it. He's that much closer to 100 rupees to pay the bottle vendor.
Yep, EmoSaru did not pick that up, but did pick up the red rupee that was down in the Thieves' Hideout. So now we head towards Kakariko, which is one of the big item troves of the game. They're both opting to charge past the guards here, which is one way of going about it. Another way would be walking over to the ledge, jumping down, which allows you to avoid the guards, and I believe that saves a couple of seconds if you have a sword. Maybe not so much here. Either way, we're at Blind's former hideout, which has piece of heart, 20 rupees, another piece of heart, an arrow boost. Those can be good early because you'll go through a lot of arrows, especially if you don't find silvers right away. And the big arrow boost. Each of the boosts has 110 quantity randomly scattered around the game. We just happen to find the big arrow boost early.
That's pretty funny.
And we got both runners really going the same way here. Both going down the well. Both picking up another big 20. There's a lot of those in this, by the way. And we got a mirror. That's a nice thing to get. And a Cane of Samaria early. How about this? Plus a heart container down the well. A very good location for our runners to start.
That's really great. I always loved the Cane of Samaria as a first weapon.
It's not anything I've utilized myself, but it's a good thing to have because most seeds will require it. And we got ourselves a chicken clip on Vasco's side. And that's a heart container. As we have both runners now heading towards back of the bar, like they're following the same route for the opening. So we got a 2 cane seed because now Cane of Burn has been picked up.
That's right. Cane of Burn, of course, also does damage.
It also does damage, and if you're in a pickle against Blind, I couldn't think of anything better to have. I mean, it's a cheap, easy way of winning the fight, but you know what? If you gotta do what you gotta do, deaths are costly. And it's 10 arrows at the library. Probably not picking that up unless arrows are a pinch. That is a bottle at the race, so EmoSaru opting to take the gamble to do the race instead of checking it first is going to put her just a bit ahead.
Oh, very nice.
See, that's one gamble you can make early, is that if you think there might be something at the race, you just do it right away and check. And if it's nothing, you just save and quit out. But in this case, it works out because you get a bottle, and EmoSaru is going right for Sick Kid, not even wasting any time.
Now's the time to do it.
Yeah, but with Mirror, you might opt to wait until later on, like when you're in Thieves Town, but this could actually be a progression. Vascos isn't going this way right away, though, so this could be something big. Or... no, who knows? Well, it's a heart container. That's not bad. Well, Vascos is already heading south. And about to drain some water. Now, with the mirror, we're about to see what's known as a block clue. Various items will have various effects when utilized while the block is moving. Like Fire Rod, you shoot fire through it. With the mirror, you just despawn it. Just don't do that in a dungeon.
You've got that right.
And that's the flute. Oh my goodness. Movement's gonna be at a premium in this seed, and they'll be zipping around the light world really fast.
If Vascos remembers he just got a bottle, he saves time by taking care of that when he activates his flute.
Absolutely, so maybe not going that way was the right call, generally speaking. And we're about to see some Can of Samaria strats to beat down some mini mold orms. Don't think it's going to be enough damage, so you gotta go over, picks a block up, throw it back over. So, Can of Samaria strat's pretty interesting.
That's what I was hoping to see. Of course, they do have quite a number of bombs to
That's what
use as well.
EmoSaru is doing. And clears them out in 3.
Now, was it me, or was that all money?
There was one bomb upgrade. Other than that,
oh, I missed that first item.
110 rupees.
Okay.
So now we're heading out towards Ice Rod Cave. Gotta be careful of the crabs. If they didn't have blue mail, they'd be doing 2 hearts of damage, and yeah, that will end your game real quick.
Right. EmoSaru has the advantage of having an extra heart container.
And EmoSaru is heading to do fake flippers. Almost got shot there. You do not want to be shot in a fake flipper state with an arrow boost on the island, because if you do, you're killed immediately. Ice Rod Cave not having anything particularly useful, just a big 20. I know there's still some things you can use for money in this seed, but a big 20 is disappointing. Does the sequence break pay off? Nope. Big 20. Now, there is a way to reverse fake flipper out, but it's risky because you do run the risk of soft locking if you miss the timing and you wind up hitting the loading screen or the transition point before the water, because then you hit the water on the other side and soft lock.
That's true. I've luckily never run into that myself. I wonder if that has to do with holding your sword out, or tapping A if you have boots.
Now, I've seen other runners do it without. Either way, please rise for the playing of our Swag Duck national anthem, as the flute is getting activated by both runners. And now Vascos is going to turn in the bottle for Sick Kid and find a full heart. And the crystal number that was at Desert was number 3, as EmoSaru had seen the map. And they're both off toward Eastern. Not a bad play, because Sahasrara is going to have 3 chests back of his hut. And could get up to 3 unique non-dungeon items in Eastern, so this is a good play. And you can also get some information from Sahasrara too as to where Green Pendant is. Does either runner take that information? Yep, and it's at Swamp Palace, so mirror, not necessarily required, but finding it early is going to be very helpful. Regardless, because you could still have something at Spectacle Rock.
That's right. Swamp also requires the flippers, so we don't know if those are actually required yet.
Absolutely. Very true. As both runners make the move to Eastern, this is going to be this is rather entertaining to see both runners along the same route as early as this. Because what one runner gets, we know what the other runner's going to be getting at just a few seconds behind. Speaking of the runners, if you are not following these runners, you really should. They put a lot of time into this game and a lot of effort into their streams, so be sure to give them a follow because they absolutely earn it. And without them, we probably wouldn't be having this broadcast tonight, as well as our restreamer as well. We already got the big key at Eastern. That's good, because now Big Chest is in play. Well, without breaking logic, because you can do dark rooms here. Game logic doesn't expect it, but you can do them anyway. And we got a hammer!
Wow, that's huge.
Absolutely, because now Moldorm, as well as East Death Mountain, are wide open. The only way they could not clear Hera is if they need a fire source for basement. So Vascos pulls up hammer, but instead of breaking the pot, opts to lift it up and throw it. Now breaking the pot with the hammer is actually a little faster than lifting.
That's true. I wonder if it depends on your direction as well, because I know NMG runners pick up pots in specific circumstances.
That's a good point. Never thought of that. But that second chest, second non-dungeon item, 300 rupees. Both runners can now afford King Zora. Vasco's skipping the big chest for now and finds a map. Oh, going back for it. EmoSaru found a map there. Lots of high fives going on as well. Too many to keep to call out each one. But I kind of love it like that. Now, in this situation for the dark room, now generally you'd be using your sword to see where you are, but lacking that, you have hammer strokes to see where you're at. That's not a bad thing, too, because the Stalfos will jump back in reaction to the hammer.
Oh, that's right. That's one way to clear your path.
Yep, another way would involve lifting a pot and throwing it, but you don't know where you're throwing it to, so that doesn't quite work out. And EmoSaru's first to emerge from the dark room. And
Vascos is down to one half of a heart.
This is dicey.
It looks like he cleared it.
And it's a small shield for clearing out for your third and final non-dungeon item. No bow, but you at least have something to defend yourself. Vascos is going to have to clear this out the vanilla way in order to get those anti-fairies off the pot.
Right, with those low hearts, he took the safe strat.
Yeah, there was no choice. If he had tried it, he would have taken a death. With magic, he could have done it with the Cane of Burna, but unfortunately, anti-fairies earlier sapped it. Both runners now at Death Mountain doing the dark room with the hammer to get Gary, the old man, off to where he's got to go. Not a bad play because you get a save point, a restart point rather, reactivated. Well, activated. What are words? And it could help, even though it's a sequence break, that could be very helpful. Again, only using seeing the hammer as the indicator of where our runners are.
Now, our runners don't have any magic right now, but another way to get through here is to carry a Samaria block. You get a good idea of your relative position.
Vascos is not sure of where he's at, so taking a save and quit. Unfortunately, he's got the old man, so that's where he restarts.
Right, but this is good, because now he knows he's there.
Yep, looked like he fell down a hole somewhere along the way. And the old man had a big bomb boost. And Vascos is clear. That dark room can be a tricky one without sword, because you're basically relying on knowing the room layout, plus hoping you don't fall down any holes or take a wrong turn or get hit by any keys.
Right, falling is the worst there.
Yep, Spectacle Rock top only has a big 20. The cave, though, has a piece of heart. I don't see either runner picking either of those up, unless Vascos can fill a heart container with it. I mean, either runner could, but it doesn't look like that's happening. And from here, it's Tower of Hera. The hammer makes this dungeon possible because the hammer is the only Y button item that can damage Moldorm's tail. Other than that, you have to use sword.
That's right. They don't have a fire source, so hopefully they find a big key. There it is.
Yeah, speaking of, big key's right there. So they don't have to do basement yet. There could still be an item in basement, but we're not going to know that until later on. Hopefully it does not come to that. Oh, we have the small key, so that eliminates the chance of Moldorm having it, knowing you have to go that way as a result. Now, hammer does tempered sword damage. These beetles cause quite a bit of recoil, but fall to one hammer strike. Now, alternatively, beetles can be stunned by using bombs, however, that's a bit more time-consuming.
That's true. If you're bold, you can go in here with just bombs and throw pots and
We got our sword. Yeah, Vasco's trying a bomb jump here. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Nope, he's bailing out of it. Can't blame him because I think you need boots for that particular bomb jump. I'm not too positive on that.
The boots allow you to have a greater range of pixels you can stand on, but it's risky if you don't have boots, though still possible. You just have a narrow 2-pixel window where you can stand, and you have to get so close that it's almost not worth it if you're not comfortable with it.
Yeah, that's probably why Vasco's bailed out from that, and I can't blame him. Now I see why Vasco's hit the switch that he did on floor 3, because you get pots that can refill health. With how low he was on health, that was an excellent strategy. It's getting dicey on EmoSaru's side. Oh, no, boss down. I was getting worried we were going to have a Troll Dorm, and just as I was about to say it, Vasco's boss gets Troll Dormed, and Moldorm had our second item, the Power Glove. So basement not required.
That's good news.
Oh no.
Vascos loses a bit of time here, falling through the center hole.
That's a 2-floor fall. Not only is that a time loss that can also be quite frustrating as a runner. I had a seed where I lost 5 minutes because Troll Dorm kept knocking me off. That was not fun, I might add.
It looks like we saw a full heart container on the floating island.
That we did. Might be worth picking up. However, jury's out on that one. Vascos is going full hammer strats on Moldorm. Can't blame him because that's just 3 strikes, Moldorm's out. And then he gets his Power Glove and will likely be heading to East Death Mountain and leading off Spiral Cave, which without boots is very slow. And that piece of heart that EmoSaru just got just added a new heart container.
So we're getting close. We're heading toward the 7-item cave. Often I find Moon Pearl here. Will it be here this time?
Good question. In fact, the first race that I called this cave, known as Paradox Cave, had 3 swords in it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's just some things that I can't make up, and that's one of them. It also had half magic, too. So it might have been one of the best things that I had found to date. Interesting that Vascos is not doing Spiral Cave.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's an interesting
speaking of,
skip.
Paradox Cave has Ether, Moon Pearl, a lot of money, red mail, and a heart container. So we do have Dark World access as the result. With that Dark World access being by way of a hammer and a Power Glove, we can safely say that AGA 1 is not required for this seed.
That's correct. I can't think of a reason to go to Aghanim at this point. And now it's interesting. Looks like EmoSaru is headed to the Dark World.
Absolutely. Normally I would head by way of Thieves Town and Skull Woods first, because version 26-27, there's usually something good out that way. Looks like she's opting for Hype Cave first, or the cave known as Hype Cave, because lately it's been hit or miss. Admittedly.
Yeah, it's the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
Or the artist formerly known as Hype Cave. Shoutouts to Prince.
Well, let's see how it does. We've got a piece of heart.
A full heart. That's Sank Heart. A bug net. Red potion. Narrow boost. There's some hype there. I'll give that a pass. Because with the bug net, you can now catch fairies. And that can really come in handy in a pinch.
It was a good safety cave.
Yep, our Dark World check has both red crystals at Palace of Darkness and Skull Woods. We knew Green Pendant was at Swamp. Red Pendant is going to be at Misery Mire. But seeing that Turtle Rock is required, they are going to have to find the Ice Rod at some point. The question is, where could it be? So now we have Divergence. You have Vascos heading for Dark World out by Skull Woods and Village of Outcasts. Well, we got a pyramid check. And what's the item on the pyramid today? It is a bee
Another
tour.
bottle. A bee in a bottle.
Yep, also known as a bee tour, but EmoSaru is not interested. It looks like I would believe she's heading for Palace of Darkness. Now, this is an interesting play here because the new logic did allow for the bow to be deeper in pod. However, that means she's gambling on the bow being here, which is possible, but you could also get another item not related that could progress you in other directions. I've seen that happen too. Now, she's opting to use her hammer to clear enemies out, which is not a bad strategy because these enemies fall in one hit to the hammer. With Vascos in Skull Woods, making the V2627 play. And the first non-dungeon item is the single arrow. Now this chest here, you want to be a small key so you don't have to go around, and thankfully it is. Also, those Gibdo can be a pain. You can also use Ether Medallion to clear them out, which is a great move, I might add. Compass in the next chest over, so there's one more chest that can be checked now in Skull Woods. Will it have an item? Will it have the big key? Who knows? Either way, EmoSaru did not get very far into Palace of Darkness, so she's on her way over to the Skull Woods Palace of Darkness area. Now this is where Cane of Samari really is going to come in handy. You don't have to deal with that statue mess.
Yeah, I'm a fan of having the cane before coming into this room.
And we got our second non-dungeon item, but it's unfortunately not anything useful. So this is a seed which Skull Woods does not have anything. So with that being said, we are likely going to see a Thieves' Town, which wouldn't be a bad play. You got 4 non-dungeon items, plus with the hammer, you can't be hammer blocked. As I saw in one of EmoSaru's past races, where the 2 runners were indeed hammer blocked and had to go back for a required item. It's quite dirty.
Yeah, it's the worst when you want to do Thieves' Town, but you don't have the hammer.
Yep, and it looks like EmoSaru opted not to do Skull Woods at this time, which for this seed is the right call. Now, Sea House didn't have anything. Chess Game had a Piece of Heart. And Vascos is heading right in. And the big key right off the bat. Now, there's a 25% chance of the big key being in the first chest, because it's only 4 chests that it can be in for Thieves' Town, due to how the dungeon's laid out with a big key door rather early. Seeing the compass early is a bit unfortunate because that just adds the chances of blind holding an item at the end of the dungeon. And in a hammerless run of this dungeon, I'd call that a whammy. because that just ups your odds of having your 4th item hammer blocked. We did get another heart container as well as a small key, so what could be in Blind Cell? Be interesting to see what that comes of that.
Question in chat, which commentator is which? This is Chex Human speaking.
And I am Leslie Pro 04. Hopefully you guys are having a good evening. Now, even with that key that was picked up, you still want to get that pot key anyway, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. Because otherwise, you will not be able to get to the big chest.
Right, since we have hammer, there's no reason to skip it right now. Or this time.
Absolutely, you don't want to skip things. Skipping things like that can be disastrous. Now, as we pass through Hellway, this is one of my least favorite rooms in the game, because you're on a conveyor belt moving against you, plus a whole ton of nasty stuff coming at you. Not the easiest to navigate, admittedly. Meanwhile,
Right.
the Skyward chest has another piece of heart. So I believe, if my item count is correct, now you still have 2 items out there because of the early compass. So you could really a 1 in 3 chance of either of our last 3 locations having the map, and by that proxy, we know where the items are. And Vascos is going to get to basement first. And even with 3 hearts, the good news is there's a hallway coming up with pots that have hearts, so not all gloom and doom here. That's the way I look at it. Always a positive. Gets some health back, gets bombs, so now it's 50-50 as to where the map is. And the last item could be a blind, could be in big chest. We're about to find out. EmoSaru's heading for big chest first. Picking up the map, so now we know blind has the last item.
Oh, wow.
So here's a question for you, y'all. What pun is blind going to drop in this seed? I'm gonna go for the chimney sweep one, because that one had me in stitches.
Not sure I've seen that one.
Oh, it's good. I clipped it on my channel because it was that good. And here we go. And no, it's asking about the new light bulb. Pretty sure Thomas Edison would be able to enlighten you on that. Vasco's running into some health trouble. Might want to pull something defensive out, gets it off, and finishes off the boss. Okay, that was close. And the 4th item's the bow!
The value has been found in Thieves Town.
Yep, the value in the recent versions of the logic, if the value's not in Skullwoods, it's in Thieves Town. Sometimes both. Or sometimes vice versa. I can tell you that both the runners will be relieved to know that that item will not troll them this seed.
That was an interesting, very close race through Thieves Town itself. It seemed like both runners were overtaking the other at various times.
Absolutely, and that's what's made this race very interesting so far, is that both runners are very close, even keel. It's like neck and neck, back and forth.
Master Sword has been found. Wow, I'm kind of surprised that neither runner found that before going into Thieves, but they did save a little bit of walking time.
That's true, because routing it that way to get the bomb house after Thieves Town is actually the faster way to go about it. I mean, it can't hurt to check it beforehand, but in terms of walking speed as well, distance as well as time, it's a bit quicker. And now we have a digging game. It could be anywhere between 1 to 30 digs for whatever items here at the digging game. And in this seed, it is...
As we wait 15 more seconds to find out.
Yep, a lot of digs so far. This might be towards the maximum. And it's a piece of heart. EmoSaru does not pick it up. It's like, yeah, nope, not worth it.
But EmoSaru was very close to avoiding the text box at the end there.
Yeah, that might have been what she was trying for, was to get off the screen before the text box, but I think you needed boots for that. We're about to be checking the Haunted Grove area, which includes Stumpy. EmoSaru is heading for Stumpy, Vascos for the ledge. Stumpy a bomb boost, the ledge, an arrow boost. So, we get a lot of boosts so far, which isn't a bad thing, especially now that they have the bow. Because now those boosts for arrows will come in handy. Vascos is yet to go to Hype Cave, so Vascos is likely heading that way. EmoSaru's heading for Ice Rod Cave. She's not going to find anything there, but not a bad idea. Although I wonder when either runner's going to head for Zora's Domain with the fake flippers, because with that you can use, with Moon Pearl, you're able to do a water walk that way.
That's true. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they do that, but I don't know. EmoSaru's over here.
Yeah, she's in the area for it now, so it would not be a bad play. At the same time, she could also easily head over to the Eastern Palace of Darkness area. She's fluting back to the southeast Lake Hylia area. Setting up fake flippers, gets it first try.
Very nice.
Nicely done indeed. Now, she is going to make the play that I prescribed. Just don't get shot here. Okay, good. Now you have to exit and then enter the cave, then exit to trigger the water walk state. Now you get to see what's here, which is 20 rupees and 10 arrows. Okay, so maybe Waterfall Fairy wasn't quite worth it. Still not a bad play. Plus, you're right here at Zora's Domain, so you might as well give it all a look. Well, Vascos is checking Pyramid, not going to find much, and Zora's Ledge is a piece of heart.
Oh, that's right. EmoSaru also checked Pyramid.
No one's checked Hyrule Castle yet, and VascosBot is going that direction.
We have our first trek into Hyrule Castle. It's very late, it seems, but
King Zora had a full heart, but EmoSaru not interested. She's restarting Death Mountain.
It's got to be slightly frustrating to get Bow directly after leaving Palace of Darkness.
Yep. We got a blue potion on VascosBot's side.
Yeah, that must be our fourth.
Into pod. Yeah, we've seen all the bottles. They might not have all been picked up, but we've seen all 4.
Exactly.
Race game. You also had... That one was picked up at Hyrule Castle, Hype Cave, and Pyramid, which had... with Pyramid, which had Beator.
Yeah, they're leaving it for someone else to pick up.
Yep, maybe Vitor. Okay, so finding the map there unfortunately means that there is something in the dark room of escape. So, will the lamp be found, and when will our runners make a play for that? While EmoSaru is going towards the mimic section of Pod. There's 2 of those. She's heading towards the first. ₹50 in Zelda sell. And we got a dark room play.
This shouldn't be too tricky.
Yeah, but this can be tough if you're not sure of where the chest is.
That's true. Without a fire source, they will not be able to see in the room where the chest is. But if Vascos has done this before, then he'll know that he has to take a certain... He has to distance himself from the wall. Because you kind of wedge yourself at... This is what I would do anyway. I kind of get myself cornered, and then I know I have to take a few steps to the left, and then up. Let's see what he does.
Oh my! That's where the ice rod is!
That's important.
Yep, so that is a required play that's going to have to be made. It's a sequence break, but at this point, I really do not think Vascos cares, because that's one less thing to look for.
Yeah, that's a very interesting sequence break that cannot take you out of sequence, because lamp is always required for Trinex.
Yes.
And so there's nothing that the ice rod can lead to out of sequence.
Yeah, at this point, the only thing the ice rod leads to would be laying a beat down on Trinex. And it looks like we're going to have a catfish play shortly. I mean, with the run of luck that Vascos is on, having picked up the ice rod in a dark room, as EmoSaru is lining up for a hammer yump, using pause buffering. Trying to get it right with the pause buffering. And the Titan's mitt at catfish.
Oh, I missed it.
And EmoSaru missed the hammer yump.
I think it's possible she wasn't standing close enough to the bomb.
Yep,
I think so that was the issue there.
Yep, she's not going to try that a second time. I do like what Vascos is doing here by jumping in the water to get iframes as a means of avoiding enemies. It's a nice little strat you can do when you don't have flippers. Because you respawn, you have iframes, don't have to worry about enemies. But as these Zoras jump, what I used to do as a kid, oh, we have a fire rod in pod. So now we know where both rods are. And I suspect from here, after clearing these 2 dungeons out, between this and Eastern, EmoSaru's heading for Skull Woods to knock that out. She won't find anything, but she'll have beaten Mothula. And I believe that would also open up Pyramid Fairy. And yes, Turtle Rock could be open now on 4 words for VascosBot, if it is Ether, but we don't know that yet. No one's been that way, and only Vascos can head that way. Back of Escape having flippers. And Vascos found them. So now EmoSaru is in the Kadongo Dark Room. Now, one strat you can use here is use Ether, and you stun all the Kadongos in the room, and you don't have to worry about dealing with their fiery breath. You also get a bit of a visual cue as to where they are. Vascos is heading to Hobo, and he's going to be disappointed with what he finds there.
I think EmoSaru will be okay here. She's cleared her path, but hopefully she can find that last chest.
Yep, there are no torches in the Kadongo room, so if you're doing this dark room, you have to know the room's layout, and you gotta know where to stand to get the chest to open. This is not easy either. I've only done this like once, and it was stressful, to say the least.
I find it's fairly straightforward if I refer to a map while I go through. And I've used the same image for months, and I think I've reached a point where I don't need it, but it's still open anyway. Oh, I think she might have it.
Yep,
Just the compass.
Yeah, the other way movement-wise, thing that you can do here movement-wise is relying on diagonal movement, because the rooms are all aligned north-south, east-west. Diagonal ensures that if you hit a wall in one direction, you'll keep going until you hit a corner. Looks like EmoSaru is prepping the red potion for use, while Vascos is checking Mire Shed. It would be Quake to enter Mire, but I have a funny feeling we're not going to be seeing Uncle Vitreous today.
Now remind me where mitts were found?
Mitts were at Catfish.
That's what I thought. Wow.
That's a pretty rough location for him, because now that EmoSaru's already done the whole of Zora's domain, she might not see a reason to go there for a while, and that is not going to be to her advantage.
Right, I'm always putting off Catfish till as late as possible.
Yeah, there's some locations that you put off till as late as possible, because when do you route them in? And unfortunately, Desert Ledge doesn't have anything. What about Desert itself? Now, the only thing that could really heck our runners over is if we are boot-slopped. That can happen if either key is on the torch mark spot, and it is, so we do need boots to clear desert. Maybe boots are here in desert. That'd be pretty dirty.
True. I tend to breathe a sigh of relief when I see a key on the torch, because then I know that boots are available at least before the Ganon Tower.
Well...
Oh wait, in this case it's pendant, right?
Yeah, it's pendant, so it doesn't really matter.
No. Oh, is it? Sorry for the confusion. I thought desert was a pendant.
Yeah, boot slots with the crystal means you can't have any sort of Schrodinger's Go mode nonsense, so you won't be seeing that this seed. EmoSaru has navigated skillfully the dark rooms of Pod and made her way to the Helmasaur King fight. Now, one strategy used here is holding the sword out and just smacking Helmasaur King in the face with a hammer while Link keeps his facing. And then once the mask comes off, it'll be 8 arrows and done. Unfortunately, in this phase, Helmasaur King moves very fast.
We had a Gina check from Vascos. Did you see what it was?
I did not. Chat, you see what that was? Yeah, just a big 20. Thanks, guys. So with that crystal picked up, I would see no reason as to why EmoSaru wouldn't just mirror right here, go into Eastern and finish that off. You are right here. So that would be the way to go about it, up or not, since Eastern is a pendant. You already got all the items, so instead it is a trip off to Link's house, as she's going to make the run into Hyrule Castle. Now, if she does the Dark Room in it for escape, she will be pleasantly surprised and relieved to find the Ice Rod, but she's also going to have it easier because the Fire Rod can light torches.
That's true.
And that is a massive relief to have in a situation like this, because let's just say that makes Dark Rooms easier when you can do that. I don't think the logic accounts for that, though.
No, it does not. The logic will never have you enter a dark room.
Yeah, so the fact that these runners have opted to burn dark rooms and they're utilizing them to their advantage is very impressive.
Exactly.
The only dark rooms I don't do are the Mire ones, because, and I don't like to do the pod ones. Ugh.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest ones.
I mean, I can
Especially if you get pelted with fireballs and you run low on health. It's one of the most dangerous dark rooms. But the Eastern Palace dark room can be pretty dangerous too if you're not careful and you have low health.
Yeah, at that point in the game, you generally don't have a lot of health to begin with, so you have to be careful. As we've got VascosBot going through Pod at this point. EmoSaru is going to make the Dark Room play and pick up the Ice Rod when she gets there. So that's going to be something of it's going to be of value.
Chat's asking for a call out. This is the voice of Chex Human.
And this is the voice of Leslie Pro 4. It may be past 1 a.m., but we're still going strong. Well, it's past 1 a.m. for me.
I'm also in Eastern time zone.
Or Eastern Palace time, as it's commonly called.
Eastern Palace time. Right. Well, that's what, this is when I'm most awake, so this works for me.
I worked earlier. And it looks like EmoSaru is trying to get the spacing right for that chest. That can be difficult. Is she close? I think she is. Or no. Wonder if pointing the sword inward as we get a fire rod on Vasco's side.
Right.
Seems like whenever she gets close, it's like an enemy, either a rat or a keese, just bumps her off. Or a rope. Up, she's got it. Taking a save and quit. See, that's one thing about finding food early is you don't see a lot of save and quit.
And the dark rooms are not over yet. Vascos has to navigate the dark maze. And he has 2 hearts left, so I wonder...
this would be a good time to use Ether.
Will he go on the offensive? No.
Pulling red potion out, because sometimes the best offense is a good defense.
Yep.
We've got EmoSaru checking back of escape. She will find flippers here. As well as an arrow boost and 50 rupees. Now, I wonder if she's going to make her way to Catfish. Getting the heal from the old man. She's fluting somewhere. Skullwoods, Catfish, either or would be good. Looks like it's going to be a Skullwoods play. Which isn't bad because you have to clear Skull Woods. Unfortunately, she's not going to find any sort of progression items here, but we'll get one crystal closer.
That's true. Vascos cleared out Skullwards earlier.
Yep, there were no items there. However, for EmoSaru, this is going to work to her advantage because this is the other red crystal, and that will open up Pyramid Fairy. And with how this seed has gone, I would not be surprised if Pyramid Fairy had at least one required item, if not both.
Right. All I can say for sure is that it won't have the lamp.
True that, it won't have the lamp, but it could have the hook shot, which is very possible. It could also have Book of Medora, which would open up the tablets, as well as enable a pedestal check. Which, unfortunately, pedestal cannot have hook shot. Sorry, folks, you have a pendant in the dungeon where you would normally get it in vanilla, so yeah, not happening. So there's a good chance that this may not be a pedestal.
Right. It could be a medallion.
That's the other possibility, too.
Could be boots.
We know it can't be Quake, because Quake's needed to enter Mire. Yes, it can be boots because of desert. So yeah, we do have possibilities for this to still be a pedestal seed, it just does not seem likely. And having found Titan's Mint, I'm surprised Vascos didn't run up for Dark Death Mountain and go after those locations. Maybe that'll happen after this. Maybe Skull Woods, who knows?
Right. It unfortunately would just be 2 chests at this point, is that right? He has no boots to get that item in Hookshot Cave, or a hookshot for the remaining 3 items.
Now, it would only be for 2 items, so that might not be worth it. However, could always make the Spike Cave run. And knowing that there are no further items to find makes this call easier for EmoSaru. Go straight for Mothula. Opting to waste no time at all, just roasting through the Gibdo, just cooking them and letting them burn. An alternate strategy would be using Ether to destroy multiple Gibdo at once. Uh-oh, she missed. That's not... So now she's down to utilizing spin slashes, and she could throw pots, but gets the kill anyway. I find Fire Rod makes this section against the turtles a lot more manageable. One of the most dangerous parts of the Pod Dark Rooms.
Right. And luckily it was found a few rooms prior.
Looks like EmoSaru went to the back of... to the start of this this part of Skull Woods, and I don't think that was by choice.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, was she grabbed in the final room?
It's possible. I mean, she could have stepped down the hole and then had the Master come down frames before. Oh, so she got Coughlin! That's the exact same thing that happened to Fred Coughlin in the spring tournament, and it wound up costing him the race, as well as leading to him being eliminated. I've referenced that as getting Coughlin ever since, because it happened to him not just once, but twice. That's why whenever I'm around this hole, I'm leery. I either wait for the Wallmaster to fall, or if it falls in the room prior, then I step in, because I don't want that fate happening to me. And for those wondering, mitts, we're at Catfish.
Right, I think we know the developers of the game didn't want that to happen either, because I believe that bug was fixed in the English version.
Yes, it was. Unfortunately, Japanese 1.0, which is what the randomizer was based off of, still has that in there, so it is something to be leery of. Because it can as if it happened to Fred, shoutouts to him, F. Coughlin, give him a follow. He does a lot of amazing stuff in the community. Unfortunately, that was one of the less fortunate moments. Things that can happen. I mean, there's a number of them that can happen, but that one's just really unfortunate because you lose minutes when that happens.
Now, it will be interesting to see if EmoSaru takes the Northern Dark World route toward the myths.
Looking like a bumper cave check first.
I think she might be running out of options, so...
And it's Lord Banana at Bumper Cave. Not sure that's getting picked up, though, because that's a little out of the way. Looks like she's heading towards the graveyard ledge. Now, there is a route to get there, which you'll see, you're seeing right here. This is the route to get to graveyard ledge without boots or the Titan's Mitt. So either of those being here is possible, but it's not going to be in this particular seed. Now, graveyard, we know that graveyard ledge holds nothing of importance.
Right, I would be very surprised if it did, but...
No, really, Blue Ruby.
EmoSaru might be on her way to get mitts.
I would hope so, because otherwise she's going to start to fall behind rather quickly.
But our runners are close. So far, each one has had a double dip in a different dungeon. So it's hard to tell who's ahead, but I don't think anyone has had any.
Yeah, there's no real clear advantage at this point. It does look like EmoSaru is going to make the right play, going to Catfish, going to get Titan's Mitt. At this point, that would open up a world of options. So I wonder which one she would take, though. Titan's Mitt in this situation does open up Ice Palace, and it can be beaten and navigated even without Hookshot. Yep, she's doing it. Now, it's interesting to see where she's moved, anticipating a troll item. This time it's anything but. It's a required one.
Right, this is good. Yeah, let's see.
Going to Mire Shed. Now, she's not going to be able to get into Mire or do anything in Desert. So, this is not quite going to work out. Meanwhile, where is... Well, that looks like Vascos is heading for Blacksmith. It'll be interesting to see what Blacksmith has. Plus, you can get hammers, pegs, and purple chest all in this same area. No powder though, so no magic bat. Interesting hammer peg routing. Because it's faster just stand in between two pegs and then turn around after you hit one, hit the other. And hammer pegs has... Ugh.
Just a blue ruby.
Might have been good in Zelda 1, but not this game.
I'm thinking Ice Palace has something. Maybe... It's tough to get through, you know, with it's tough to want to go there if you don't have boots or hookshot, but I think one or both of those items will be there.
That's what I'm starting to suspect. And we also have Pyramid Fairy open to our runners, and neither one has made that play just yet. Now, with the EmoSaru in Desert, she's gonna find rather quickly that she's boots locked, so she's not gonna be here long.
Vascos takes the purple chest for a different route than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, I typically fly out to Southern Light World at 7 because that's generally a bit quicker and it's not worth it 20 route. And it looks like, yep, Emo's out. Now we're about to see Dark Death Mountain, which is only going to be 2-3 items plus knowledge of what's needed to get into Turtle Rock. Now the dungeon is doable, but without hookshot, some of the strats we're accustomed to seeing are going to take a little bit longer. That is, if we can get in. EmoSaru's heading to Agony Cave, not going to find much there. But she's got exactly 1,000 rupees.
What did Zora have? Heart container?
Yep, heart container.
Maybe he can offer 2 more.
Looks like we've got a Pyramid Fairy play on EmoSaru's side.
Maybe.
Which, knowing what we know, could be a good thing. Uh-oh. Dead rock trolling.
Now I missed it. Earlier, Vasco skipped Spiral Cave. Did he ever go through after the 7-item cave?
I don't think so. Even so, he wasn't missing a major item, so it's not gonna really cost him this time, but a location like the Quake Medallion, we're not entering Turtle Rock.
Interesting. We had Fire Rod early and Ice Rod early enough, but no one's getting into Turtle Rock until they find Quake. Same with Meyer.
So this is a 1 medallion seed in that regard. Book of Medora. So now we are able to see what is at pedestal, plus check the tablets.
Yep. Since all we need is Quake to get into Turtle Rock.
And we got boots.
Oh wow. What a great find.
Boots are at Pyramid Fairy. Now the challenge for Vascos here actually mirrors out instead of dealing with the Lionels. That's not a bad strategy because Lionels can be dangerous. So now we're about to see a Desert Palace play on EmoSaru's side. And what does the Ether Tablet hold today? Arrows. Nothing of importance. Could still check Spike Cave here, but my prospects of that holding anything aren't looking so great right now. I could be wrong. In fact, I want to be wrong.
I don't know.
I mean, omitting Spike Cave wound up costing me in what turned out to be a very close match in the group stage, so this is definitely possible to have something here. But you need some sort of defensive item in order to get through here. or a lot of hearts, and it's just 300 rupees, so not totally worth it, but it builds up money for when you need potions. Now, East Desert Palace is going to have at least one non-dungeon item. Well, could have the other, because I just remembered bombs were the first. And we won't find out until we beat the land mullahs what that item is.
Oh, that's true. We're still looking for Hookshot, and we're still looking for Quake.
Yep, we found boots at Pyramid Ferry. Like
oh wow, is Vascos going into Swamp?
Looks like it. Not a bad play considering that you can get the most non-dungeon items that are unique out of Swamp outside of Ganon's Tower, that is, with 6, but there's a few locations that are hookshot blocked. I think this is a gamble to see if hookshot is here.
Right, this will be big if
or
either item is in here, yeah.
So we know we need 2.
Yeah. This is a pendant, right? So
Pendant of Courage.
oh, okay, that adds another item.
Well, we start with Tempered Sword, and that's not a bad find. Because that is going to make fighting bosses a lot easier. Plus, it's going to make the Ganon fight simpler than just spinning the Master Sword. Because trust me, the Silverless Master Sword fight is not fun.
Nope, it's also technically a sequence break.
And speaking of, the silver arrows were held by the land mullahs, so we got that off the list.
That's pretty nice. Vascos will find that as well. Yeah, I'm not sure if EmoSaru will be able to use those silver arrows to her advantage during this search for the last 2 items. But they are helpful.
Yeah, because Gib, for example, Gibdos aren't typically vulnerable to arrows, they'll just laugh them off. They're not laughing if they get hit by a silver arrow. Instead, they're going down in one hit. About to have a King's Tomb check. And her King's Tomb has 20 rupees. That's disappointing. Even more disappointing is finding the single rupee in a chest inside of Swamp Palace. And now we're about to have a look at Bonk Rocks, which, will that have anything? About to find out. Nope, bomb boost. And now flying off to another pasture. It's like she's heading in towards the village of Outcasts area to wrap up some unfinished business. Not gonna find anything here, though.
But did she take care of the Mitts blocked items here? That might be where she's going.
Well, that's also possible. And also, the RC is right. Without the hookshot, you can't flood the key. So, no, that is out of the picture this time.
That's very true. Flooding the key has happened to me more than I'm willing to admit.
Yeah, it's happened to all of us. It's frustrating, but at least in this version, it's not a soft lock, so that's a plus in that regard. Still have to leave the dungeon and scroll away a screen, which is a frustrating time loss. It costs you a couple minutes to reset everything. Not fun times. As we've got the reward for blacksmith picked up, just a piece of heart. And now we're going to have Gary's lunchbox. Unfortunately, that's going to be a very disappointing drop-off. Last item that Vascos can pick up. That's
Just a heart container.
So that's going to be it for Swamp Palace, which we know is not the right answer, but we're about to see Bombo's tablet check. What could we have there this time? I mean, I'd prefer to route this in with all the other stuff, but that doesn't always happen, so what do we get from Bombos? Other than an 8-second animation. Quake Medallion! So Bombos is definitely required. Plus that first trip to Dark Death Mountain is also required.
That's a really interesting sequence.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, he's not going to Pyramid Fairy before Turtle Rock.
That's going to slow things down a little bit, unfortunately. But he might find the breaks that'll put him ahead. Meanwhile, EmoSaru is heading right into Ice Palace.
Now, I was suspecting that the hookshot or boots would be found in Ice Palace, so let's see if that sort of broad guess comes up with anything.
Yeah, I'm thinking hookshot would be here, because we already got boots at Pyramid Fairy. Why not the hookshot or the lamp here?
Of course, hookshot could be in Turtle Rock.
Yep, that's definitely possible. It is going to require some slower strats that you would not see in a no major glitches setting, such as hookshotting to the torch in that one room. Oh, we got an early big key. That's helpful in this dungeon. As now Vasco's about to enter Turtle Rock, just has to re-enter the portal and trigger an earthquake. He'll be on his way. Now it'd be dirty to see if this was not required, if Turtle Rock had happened to be required in order to clear out the remaining crystal dungeons. Ugh. That takes out going from Turtle Rock to Ganon's Tower, and that's part of the fun of these, in my mind. But sometimes that does happen, and it looks like EmoSaru is setting up for Ice Palace Bomb Jump. This is very precise. And she gets it first try!
Excellent. To your last point, this seed is pretty rude with Death Mountain trips, because you have to get that book before you can get the Quake, which you need for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, right now we're sitting at 3 required Death Mountain visits. Ooh, nice bomb strats for taking out those penguins.
Yeah, it's great to see them taken out with just 2 bombs.
Yeah, that's pretty satisfying. Another way you can do it that we might see... Oh, we got Bombos. But another strat you can use is you could also just drop Quake Medallion, and even though the animation takes a bit of time, it takes them out in one hit.
I like EmoSaru's route through this. It looks like she'll just be able to get each item as she walks through. She won't have to do any bomb... Well, she may do a bomb jump to get those final items.
Sorry to interject, but the lamp is at Turtle Rock in the first laser room. Oy. Now
How
that's
about that?
dirty! Game! That is dirty!
Well, it's true. Like I was saying before, our entry to the to Turtle Rock was through 2 far out overworld locations. So Lamp was not required to get in. Wait a second. But the logic would have you come here first before you get the ice rod.
Just thinking about the sequence breaks that save time that some others wouldn't. This seed is starting to feel dirty.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to know who rolled this? As EmoSaru is setting up for the other bomb jump that can be done in Ice Palace, this one allows you to skip the hook shot gap. Just like that, one shot, no sweat.
That was great. I believe that one has a 1 pixel setup. There's 1 Y pixel that will work when you're facing left, and she got it.
That's pretty awesome. I know the way my controller is right now, I wouldn't be able to hit that because my controller's a bit clunky. Let's put it that way. And now EmoSaru is up at B1. This is the vanilla big key, and it's a fire shield this time.
So we know where the 3rd shield is. For anyone who's just joining us, we saw the first shield a long time ago on Lake Hylia Island.
You sure? I thought it was Lumberjack Cave for that.
Lumberjack Cave, sorry. That was a test.
Yeah, what I'm probably... Yeah, by the way, chat, for those that were wondering, Book was in Dark World Death Mountain on the way up. I'm gonna have a Mimic Cave check now. This could be something too, because I've had a couple seeds where the bow was here, so... You could see some very dirty things happening here with what happens with this chest. And it's just a magical boomerang. So nothing of too terrible importance.
Personally, I like when the boomerang appears, and I think it has a nice spot in the item menu. It seems to help me navigate my items better.
Yeah, if you have the right item spots, then you can navigate the menu better. I'm still trying to get better at that. This is full magic. EmoSaru now taking on Cold Stare. Phase 1 done. You gotta be careful here. This is a very tough fight. My last tournament race, I tried going for Fighter Sword, Cold Stare. Didn't work out. So I'm like, nope. I'm pulling Ped, because Ped was Master Sword, that seed. And I'm thinking, wait, isn't that supposed to be randomized? Oh, EmoSaru gotta be very careful here. I don't think she's got a potion. Yeah, no! That's where you don't want to die, is Cold Stare. Because that is just a massive time loss. She's exiting for potions, I believe, and quite frankly, I can't blame her one bit. Cold Stare is a boss that you do not want to die to at all, multiple times, let alone at all. So getting potions here is definitely the smart play.
The difficult thing is refilling your magic before having to try again. So luckily with the flute, she can take care of this situation.
Yep,
quickly.
And it looks like Vascos is heading for the safety cave, which in Turtle Rock is a good strategy because you die to try next without opening safety cave, and you're gonna lose a lot of time. It looks like we're getting a death. Not quite a death-like setup. Get a chest, take a death, get your health back. So, not a bad death to take, considering you just opened the safety cave.
Right.
Half magic found. Ooh.
Very convenient halfway through the laser bridge, since the Cane of Burna can...
It can burn through your magic.
Yes, that's why they call it that.
Yep. Now, I believe we still have one dungeon item left to find in Turtle Rock. So it's now a question of what does Trinex hold? It appears as though we may have a one-item situation left in Ice Palace as well. Which one's the hook shot? By the way, the Tempered Sword Trinex fight's a bit more manageable, easier to manage than the Master Sword fight, because Master Sword takes a lot of hits. Now the spikes are just being rude to EmoSaru as she's trying to get back in position for a second Ice Palace bomb jump. Gets it first try again. What does Trinex hold? Because we have a boss down on Vasco's side. 20 rupees, so the play does not pan out at all. It was a good play, but this seed was not the answer. So I'm thinking EmoSaru could be on the right track here.
I am having difficulty thinking of any other location. I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting.
Yeah, that's pretty much gotta be it. Unless it's maybe in one of the pendant dungeons, because if it's not in Ice Palace, then we'll know that we gotta go dive into a pendant mire. And the only
That's
one
right.
who'd be able to do that would be Vascos.
Right. Well, I think EmoSaru has the boots, right?
Yes, and it looks like Vascos is on his way to get the boots, because I sense a Pyramid Fairy check in his very near future.
Mm-hmm. Who 42 Baker, they did not check that first chest in Hookshot Cave. In fact, I don't think EmoSaru has been to Dark Death Mountain yet.
Nope, she has not. She might go after this because that's the boss. And she picks up a sword upgrade. So now we know that once Vascos beats Cold Stare, he'll have the Butter Sword. If EmoSaru checks the first chest that she can check in Swamp, she'll have Butter. So both runners picking up Tempered Sword, but in very different locations.
This will be good for Vasquez. But it won't put him in go mode yet. He's still looking for a hook shot.
We both are. I mean, we're not even going to be no mode in this seed because the go mode knowledge is out there somewhere. We just don't know where.
Yeah, the truth is out there.
Yep, and it looks like we have linked EmoSaru on Dark Death Mountain. She'll have to get the Book of Medora here, check the Bombos tablet, and then she'll be able to go and enter Turtle Rock, which we know doesn't have it. So now I have to ask, because this is a question that pretty much needs to be asked at this point. Is the hook shot in Ganon's tower? Because right now...
Oh, of course. Right.
That would appear to be a very valid possibility here.
Right. Of course. I forgot about that. And I've seen that before.
Yes, because chat mentioned that hookshot can be almost anywhere outside of the validation chest that we logically have not seen. So in a seed like this, if it were a runner who knows how to utilize hover, we'd be seeing that. Definitely. Without a doubt. They would be in their version of go mode because they'd be able to hover. So yeah, we have a chance of a very dirty location for the hook shot. There's always one item that trolls runners in these seeds, and today it looks like it's gonna be the hook shot. But could it be in the first chest of Hookshot Cave? We are about to find out. Nope.
Right.
It was just a big 20.
So
Did EmoSaru get the book? I did not see her pause menu.
Vascos did a really nice trick there where he was able to skip the mirror warp by holding the rock above his head.
Not a bad play up. She definitely did. She's not going to find anything here, but she's going to find something of very important. I mean, we also know that this is not a pedestal seed, so checking pedestal now would just be silly. Looks like she's heading towards Spike Cave, where she'll pick up 300 rupees, which will be great for potions, and that's about it. And Vascos is about to get silver arrows as soon as he beats the landmullas. We got ourselves a race, folks, is to see who can find the hookshot first. This cannot be a pedestal seed, unfortunately, because one of the pennant dungeons is Swamp Palace, which requires the hookshot. So hookshot cannot be a pedestal logically.
Right. It's really looking like Ganon's Tower. In this version, Ganon's Tower is randomly pre-filled with a number of junk items, but there are just so many chests there.
A total of 20 that have non-dungeon items, so just about any of those 20 outside of validation could have the hookshot.
Yeah, that's 26 locations. Since there are 27 chests, and like you said, there are 20 non-dungeon items.
Looks like EmoSaru's going to check pedestal, but it's not going to be the hookshot, I can say that right now. It's likely couch cash. Well, 10 arrows, close enough. Still a case of move right along. Now I'm curious to see where EmoSaru is going. She's gonna try, I believe, judging by this trajectory, gonna try Swamp House, but that's not gonna yield anything. Meanwhile, Vascos is in Ice Palace, not going to find what he's looking for here, but will pick up Crystal 7 and would likely be on his way to Ganon's Tower. Now, we have ourselves an interesting situation here. Oh, wait, EmoSaru's skipping Swamp and going right for Bombo's tablet. This is the play she needs to make. And makes it. As I'm presuming she will be on her way to Turtle Rock from here. Now, the question is, we could wind up having a double game here where we're not just naming where the big key is, but where the hookshot is. So this could be a real unique situation. One we don't see every day. And if you want to see more seeds like this, go ahead, give our runners a follow, as they are playing a fantastic seed that has been very closely contested throughout. This is definitely one that's been worth staying up for, and then some.
Vascos picks up the bomb.
I guess did not like the placement of that bomb, so decided, nope, you're gone. Now we got some select buffering going on, which is not a bad strategy. If you're not sure, select buffer can really help. Gets the lineup, and it's good. So now EmoSaru's on her way into Turtle Rock. Not going to find the hook shot here, but will definitely find her way to Ganon's Tower after this point. Now, this is where she'll save a bit of time over her opponent because her opponent went into Turtle Rock first before thinking that hook shot would be here, but this time the reverse troll. You expect it to troll, and it doesn't.
It's a very close race. I'm not sure who's going to enter Ganon's Tower first, and even so, I'm not sure who's going to find Big Key and Hookshot first. It's anything could happen.
Absolutely. That's going to be one of the things that I'd like to ask about afterwards, is because hookshot location is going to be an evil one. I can sense it. EmoSaru realizing no hookshot, going the long way round. This is how you have to do this run without the hookshot. I call this the casual strat because if you don't know you can hit the torch with a hookshot, this is how you'd have to do it.
Right. I played this game as a kid, and of course, did not use the hookshot strat.
Same here. Because I didn't know. Got ourselves a nice cane of Burn-a-Dash.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real nice item dash that allows you to dash through these spikes without using any magic. Those spike rollers hurt. With half magic, Vascos will not need to refill any magic whatsoever, and with Bombos, phase 1 is going to be done real fast.
That's true. He did find Bombos from Turtle Rock, and half magic, not to mention. So he'll use Fire Rod.
Start with Fire Rod, then switch to Bombos, realizing, whoops. The Tempered Sword fight is much faster here. So this could easily... So now the question is, as we get a Butter Sword on Vasco's side, does Vascos go right for Turtle Rock, or does Vascos go into Mire to try to find the hook shot there?
Yeah. If it were me, like I mentioned before, I had kind of forgotten about Ganon's Tower as a possibility, but I'd be surprised if Vascos goes to Mire at this point.
And Vascos is having equipment consumed, including their shield, which by now I'm pretty sure the like has fully digested. What's it gonna be, Turtle Rock or Mire? Rather, Ganon's Tower, Mire. Going for Ganon's Tower. Okay, chat. This is what I need. The usual, pick a number between 1 and 22 for the Ganon's Tower Big Key, but also add a second number between 1 and 26 for where the hook shot is, assuming it's in Ganon's Tower. First number will be the Big Key. Second number, the hook shot guess. You can also call out room as well. calling out big chest for hook shot works as well.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a nail biter, and so I'm thinking hookshot in the room before Moldorm 2.
That would be dirty. If that happens, you're gonna brace yourselves, folks, because I will probably pop off.
And
for about as loud as I can at 2 in the morning, that is.
I'm guessing 1 for Biggie.
So first chest, which could be Torch, which could also be one of the chests on the right side. As EmoSaru is almost done with Turtle Rock, this is, man, this is going to be the closest race that I've seen in a while. Probably not since that one race I had in the group stage. Then again, I was racing in that, so I wasn't really watching it. I did watch the VOD afterwards, so it was one of those really good races that I was really... I was happy for how close it was. Pretty much all I can say about that.
Yeah, I always find it helpful to watch a VOD and find out what I've forgotten, what I missed.
Yeah, or where I went wrong.
What I wasn't thinking of.
Because that can happen in these seeds. Like, in the heat of the moment, it is so easy to forget one location and have that one location cost you dearly as EmoSaru picks up half magic. And it's just bombs, so we're forced left side here.
That's correct. Need a key to go right side.
And speaking of, there's a key on the torch, so we'll be seeing Bob on another day. Apologies to Bob's fandom. He'll be back on another seed where something less desirable is there, like a big 20 or the compass. And it looks like we're utilizing bonk strats to get through here.
This is very interesting.
Bonk strats to a bomb jump. Now, the only thing I'm going to explain about this is that while the bomb jump may have failed, if the big key is here, then that guarantees hookshot is either in basement or mire.
He gets it.
Second try, but really, who's counting? As we get a very quick and efficient try-next kill on EmoSaru's side, she's likely going to make the same play and head to Ganon's tower. Because you're right there, so why not? Wasn't there. Now with some precision bonking, which is required, you can continue along this route. Gotta be careful, that spike slider can be rude. So yeah, the only way you're getting through here is with bonks. Piece of heart, mirrors out. I'm guessing you can't go full left side without the hook shot?
Right, in the fire snake room, you need a hook shot to get across. You can bomb jump across though, but of course hook shot won't be found in Rando room. Or the fire snake room.
So now we have a tile room. And we have Vasco's gambling on tile room.
Right, but there's more than one thing he's looking for.
Yeah, there's two things that the runners are looking for, and EmoSaru goes straight left, no hesitation. Now, in this room, one strategy that I utilize is that I just evade everything. Because the blocks are going to hurt, the anti-fairy's going to sap your magic, and the wall master is trying to pull you down, and that does not pay off.
I may have lost count. Was that number 9?
Yeah, I lost count too. But at the same time, EmoSaru is going to straight left side. This is very close. It's a race to see who is going to find the big key in the hook shot first. And oh no, Vasco's taking a death at a very bad time.
It's true. It's better than losing a life in Gauntlet. But
and there's worse places to die in Gaines Tower, but this is a place where it's a bad place to die because now EmoSaru's a bit ahead, able to check more chests, and is closer to the ice armos, which are still accessible via the right side. I think it's a harder way of accessing them. Don't quote me on that, but I always get hung up in this next room here.
Yeah, I mean,
because this is a block.
Not the most practiced room.
Yeah. For those that aren't in the know, this is a block fall room, and if you don't get through there quickly enough, will have to go back out to reset the room, and then back in.
I think there may be a full magic jar at the top of that room, in case you're looking for magic. But, EmoSaru should be fine.
Yep, she is. It's gonna be extremely close finish, so stay tuned, folks. This is gonna be a close one. Well, there's 50 rupees. Now we're about to have an ice armos fight, where hopefully the big key's behind the ice armos, which will allow for further exploring of the tower. And a very clean ice armos kill from EmoSaru. Now what do we have here? Powder. Magic bat just be... And we don't have the hook shot yet. She's not going to find it left side. The right play now would be to check Magic Bat or go to Meyer. Unbelievable. That's literally all I can say about this development is unbelievable, because I have seen and raced over, between the amount of seeds that I've watched, commentated on, and seen, totals over 100. I have never seen this situation before.
Yeah, I don't remember which chest it was, but I've seen Hookshot in Gaines Tower before. But of course, it's not here, is it?
I'm really starting to think of that. I mean, thinking it was here was wishful thinking.
Yeah, if it's at Magic Bat, that's an interesting double dip.
That would be the worst double dip I've seen in this place ever. And it looks like EmoSaru's going to try the bomb jump to try and scrounge up that big key. And it looks like Vascos is going to pick up some fairies. This is a very good place to pick fairies up. And is very recommended. Nope, she is saying, I'm going to have to come back.
Right. She knows the big key is in one of those rooms. But, of course, she needs Hookshot.
Yep, so she's making the call to exit. And she's going straight for Magic Bat. Is this the play? Guards, help, the creeper is here! I think the real creeper's in the castle, you dunce. Anyway, we're about to see it. Was this a very dirty go mode?
It is, no matter what.
I'm calling Ice Armos for Hookshot if this turns out to be Hookshot because of the powder unlocking it. No. Magic Cape? Game! Come on here! Oh my lord, this was Meyer all along?
It's a nice
Team, now you're
consolation
just
prize.
being mean to our runners at a really ridiculous hour. We need to have some words after this.
It's very interesting that Vascos made that call to go to Swamp. Now it looks like EmoSaru might go to Swamp.
Yeah, here's the problem, though. We all know that that's not the play. The play is Meyer here.
Vasquez gets the bomb jump. He can see. He can check the big key. I mean, he will get the big key here.
He'll get the big key here, and if he wants to, he can check the big chest on his way out. But for that little bomb jump, unfortunately, he is not going to find the hook shot. So Rando Room was big key. Hook shot appears to be Meyer.
Mm-hmm. It looks like big key was number 20, if I did that right. I just subtracted from 22.
That's probably the best way to do it, because it counts items pre-Ganon key. And he's just going to make his way through the big chest, which will validate what we know, that hookshot is not in Ganon's tower. And this wasn't even a double dip, this was a misdirection by the seed, making you think it was a GT double dip, only to say, dudes, you should have gone to Meyer first. I mean, this is just evil. Question is, how far do they have to go into Meyer? That's the real evil. Like, this feels like one of those open Ganon's Tower playthroughs, where you can get into Ganon's Tower early, but you have to take multiple trips.
Oh, it's my mistake. Vasquez didn't check those chat. He didn't go to Ice Armos, did he?
No, he didn't, but something tells me, but I believe I have a hunch saying to me that he knows he doesn't have to. He knows he has to go into Meyer, but how deep in Meyer is the big question. And that is also going to determine how far behind EmoSaru will be. Because she should have gone, well, we know what she should have done. I'm not going to harp on it. But it's a question of how much time is this going to take. Problem is, Vascos is out of magic. And doesn't realize it. This seed. Oh my goodness. What other twists are we going to see? And to think this is the first race of a best of 3. That's the best part of this. Who knows what's going to happen when these two race later on. Which I believe their second race is scheduled for Sunday. Oh, and we got a, whoa, bucko, no empty bottles, so gotta release a fairy. And that actually is gonna buy EmoSaru some time to finish clearing out what she can in this dungeon. But will it be enough? Jury's out. But we are about to be in go mode thanks to Misery Meyer. Because this is the play of the seed right here. The question is now, because I know one thing. Hookshot can be anywhere in this dungeon. Where is it? Let's hear it, chat. Is it big chest? Spike chest? Bridge chest? Very last chest? Vanilla big key? Compass vanilla? Or map vanilla? Or is it at Vitreous, the worst fate of all?
Yeah, of course I had to laugh when I saw iBasley's comment. Of course it's at Vidi.
Oh, you know, if it's at Vidi, the good news is our runners will have the silvers to smite him. The bad news is our runners won't be able to revive him and smite him again for how mean of a trick was just played. Because, you know, you have those moments where you just kill a boss, you want to bring them back just so you can do it all over again. Yeah, that's pretty much where my head would be at. Anyway, we have Big Key already out the chute. And EmoSaru's out. She's not bothering with the rest of the dungeon, so she's not going to be about a minute behind, which isn't going to be too terribly bad, all things considered. There's the hook shot. It was on the spikes. We are finally go mode. Seed, you pulled a very, very mean trick, and I think she went. Yep, she went to the wrong teleporter. Game, in the words of Skybills, who plays Zelda 1 Rando, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. This is some dirty stuff, because now you have to climb back up the mountain for the double dip. Oh boy.
No, V27 does not have a conscience, unfortunately.
They were saying that about V26, and I'm starting to wonder if V27's bad side is even worse. Because this is worse.
That's Randomizer.
That's madness. That is sheer madness. I mean, this is... Wow, I'm at a lot of worse.
Yeah,
I'm counting 5 Death Mountain climbs, RC. I could be 4, but I'm counting 5.
Oh, yeah. I've lost count at this point, but you've got to be about right there.
And the sequence break actually puts Vascos further ahead because he already found the big key. He already has a hook shot. He can just charge it.
That's right.
EmoSaru is going to be go mode very shortly.
You've got to wonder how these runners feel about this seed.
I'd be calling for this seed to die in a county-wide tire fire for pulling this stunt. Because that's pretty much what I'd be at. I mean, this is still anybody's race, because we are still basically one Ganon death or one Ganon fall away from EmoSaru potentially catching up here. There's still a lot that could happen, so this is far from over.
That's true. Even though Vascos is heading up the tower, there are only 3 rooms left that the big key could be for EmoSaru.
Yeah, and we already know it's Rando room. And she's not, and it would be silly to check tile room, because this is like, oh my lord.
Did she skip tile room?
Yeah, she did not waste time on tile room. Can't blame her. As we've got Vascos in Gauntlet. Now, these rooms can be difficult because the enemy RNG movement can absolutely troll. Gotta be careful of the spikes here, although a death in Gauntlet would really be bad. You can Fire Rod the Stalfos and they won't burn up, they'll just disappear. That other enemy that was shot with the Fire Rod will actually light on fire. And by that ignition, yeah. And here we go for the second Landmilla fight. Moldorm's later. I kind of got that one backwards.
Yeah, to answer a question in chat, hookshot is required only for crossing the gap after Moldorm 2 and this seed. And hookshot is always required because of that in this logic. It's just so rare that
This wasn't even a double dip. This was a
No, it
case
wasn't.
of it becoming a double dip because our runners thought it would. Oh my goodness! Wait, should have a fairy left, so Vasco should still be good.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I was about to say, might want to use something to heal up with, but not required, as Vascos is getting trolled by the spike slider, of all things. As the spike slider is committing goaltending.
Right. That spike is in the wrong game, apparently.
Yep,
But boy,
probably
I would be
should have been in
nervous.
it. Yeah, that spike should have probably been in NBA Jam or something.
Mhm.
Is Vasco's gonna have enough time to pull this off?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness! That was pretty much a frame-perfect escape of that room.
It shuts right behind him.
Yeah, the reason I call that a frame-perfect escape is had that been one frame later, Vascos would have been trapped in that doorway and would have been forced to use mirror. Because that would have been a soft lock.
Oh, is that you can get trapped in a doorway there? Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. That's happened in the past.
Wow, I haven't seen that.
Meanwhile, EmoSaru is starting her climb up the tower. Another fairy caught for Vascos. Now we get our Moldorm 2 as EmoSaru gets a key dash. Every 4 pixels ahead of a door, you can key dash through, which is actually going to, well, it makes things a little bit easier. And validation's bombs. And he's going to blow up the validation chest. I love it. With a seed like this, I don't blame him.
We finally get a reveal of our runner's inner thoughts about the seed. They've been pretty... Yeah. I'm sorry.
I can consider that a means of saying, oh, that's just a way of just giving the seed the business back for giving us the business. We have EmoSaru and Gauntlet as the Yaga 2 fight is underway. Now you gotta be... Now the only thing that can really happen here outside of execution is getting blue-balled. Speaking of. Now, Aga was almost too high on one of those shots, and if Aga gets too high and hasn't fired, Aga will not shoot. The shot will just despawn automatically, and Aga 2 is down. Vascos is on his way to Ganon. It'll be a 2-cycle for the second Lamela fight for EmoSaru. But like I said, anything can still happen. So even though Vascos is pulled slightly ahead, a fall at Ganon and we could be completely evened up here. Hey, ain't that the truth? That Ganon line is such the truth, especially on a randomizer setting. Because we do keep winding up here over and over again. It is deja vu. And just tanking hits Vascos, which he has the luxury of being able to do due to having a fairy, and that's going to be a fairy use right there. However, that animation does cost a small amount of time.
Right. Ganon is now in phase 3, which was easy with the gold sword. Now EmoSaru doesn't have gold sword, but
she does.
Oh, she does. Of course, she went through swamp.
Pretty hard to not find the arrows in Desert Palace when the boss is holding them.
Okay, nice double.
Way. Almost fell
was
there.
close.
I was holding my breath there, and that is going to be a boss kill and GG's all around for Vascos. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this grueling seed with an SRL time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, 31 seconds, and taking a 1-0 series lead is Vascos. Let's see if Vascos wants in for an interview.
GG to Vascos. These players have held back. I can't. Hopefully we get his thoughts on this.
Yeah. Because I'd like to get both runners' thoughts, because this was a very close race. And we are joined by the winner of this race, Vascos. Congratulations on a very tough seed with a very nasty hookshot location.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't need to play this by the logic, because this would have been awful. So awful.
God, you're not kidding about that, because they hide the lamp up in Turtle Rock, which is pretty dirty to begin with, but then they also stick the hook shot. I mean, we're all here thinking, yeah, it's gonna be in Ganon's tower, and then we realize that it's not in Ganon's tower, that it's in Meyer. I'm thinking this is like the ultimate troll move here, and it would have been really bad had it been powder. That would have been a
Yeah, if it was powder, that would have been awful. For sure, yeah. I actually was thinking about gambling on Meyer having hookshot before going to GT, but I didn't do it.
Yeah, well, neither of you
Meyer
did.
seems. I'm sorry. GG Vascos. Meyer seems to be a magnet for the item you need, and I almost forgot about Ganon's Tower as a possibility. So once I realized that was open, I figured the hookshot would be there too.
And EmoSaru has finished off Ganon, wrapping up this seed with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, 6 seconds.
So I understood your thoughts on the seed once you lay down the bomb on the validation chest. Did you think you're ahead or behind at that point?
At that point, I wasn't even thinking about it. I thought I was ahead once I went into Aga 2.
Yeah, the one part that really grabbed me about this seed the most is how close it was throughout. You guys were like really close within a margin of at most literally at most I can think of like 4 minutes, which proves that you guys played this seed extremely well, extremely close, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Also, as we are now joined by EmoSaru, your thoughts on how this seed played out and how dirty that hookshot location was.
I wish I knew how to hover.
That thing.
With this seed, I don't blame you for wishing that.
Yeah, I was like this close to going into Meyer first before Swamp. And I think if I'd have done that, or if I hadn't died to Cold Stare that one time, I think that would have been the difference. But wow, that was quite a thing.
Yeah, dying to Cold Stare is
yeah, that's painful.
Yeah, I got a little over aggressive, and it happens.
Happens to all of us, because I know I've had that happen to me myself. So it happens to all of us.
Yep. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. I'll just say that.
So I'm guessing you had boots before checking Swamp?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, because I got them right after.
Oh, okay.
Or wait, no, not right after. I got Quake right after
Nice.
Swamp.
Yeah, I was just following crystals around for a while and mixing in Overworld, and
Yeah.
And that's
ended
a
up
good
going into Ganon's tower without the hookshot in the hopes that maybe it was there.
You both did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the worst part was I missed Bob's chest and I had to go back in.
Oh no.
But the good thing was the wiki was in rando room anyway, so I got that before I
Yep.
needed hookshot anyway. So
Yep. I missed the bomb jump.
oh,
And after failing it once, I was like, well, I know the hookshot is not here. I might find the big key, but I'm not going to find the hookshot. So that's when I bailed.
yeah. I've done them quite a lot, so it's not that hard.
Oh no,
anymore.
that bomb jump is not bad. I just I fell off the edge once, and it just wasn't worth doing. So
Yeah. Okay, for me it was, because if the hookshot was in Bob's chest, I would have lost straight up.
totally. So I did not miss Bob's chest when I went.
Oh, that's right.
When I went right side, I full cleared right, except for Towel Room, and all the way through Ice Armos. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
the
you-
way this seed yeah, sorry to interject, guys, but the way this seed's logic was set up with you not wanting to do dark rooms, it actually wanted you to head up to Turtle Rock once to get the lamp,
yep, which was
Then-
fascinating.
and then mess around with all that dark room stuff in Hyrule Castle. Escape, pod, and do all that other stuff before coming back to face Trinex. So sequence breaking the dark rooms really paid off big time for both of you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Actually, I was hoping for the other rod when I went into escape, but
Oh yeah.
guess it worked out fine.
Yep.
Yeah, it really did, because that took off one nasty item, but little did we know that the real nasty item this seed was going to be the hookshot. Game. That was rude.
Yep. That was unfortunate. But
I mean, I kind of knew it once I had lamp, or rather, once hookshot wasn't in Turtle Rock, I was pretty sure it would be the troll item. So
oh, I knew it was going to be the troll, but yeah, I don't know. I played the numbers game on Swamp versus Mire, because I could do Pyramid Fairy and then go do Swamp, and it just didn't work out.
Also, interesting point from chat is that the Ice Palace key layout was hookshot required, so Ice
Yes,
Palace
it
bomb
was.
jump technically was a sequence break for clearing the dungeon,
Yep.
and that
no.
that made things quite interesting, because wow, this seed.
I did
Very-
2 of the bomb jumps this seed, so
I'll have
that
to
was
look at a
fun.
map to fully understand.
I think you could sequence break Ice Palace without bomb jump, but still, it was hookshot required by logic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the main Ice Palace bomb jump, and then I bomb jumped the hookshot room. To get over there and
No.
grab those chests. So
Okay, I didn't do that because I was only missing hookshot at that point.
gotcha. Yeah, I
So
was in
I
there
knew it.
earlier.
If something was hookshot locked, it's not gonna be hookshot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was looking for other stuff still at that point, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
with
the
that-
Quake was pretty evil itself, since you had to go up to Dark Death Mountain just to get the book,
Yeah,
and then to the Bombos tablet to get the Quake.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a lot of anger slashes in my head.
In your head.
I was having anger slashes sitting here at commentary thinking of how rude is this seed being.
Yeah, I felt both of you were very restrained. I only saw a hint of expression in the bomb on the validation chest on Vascos' side.
I think my point where I fully fury slashed was when I finally found the hook shot. in Mire, and I took my waiting for the duck time outside to unleash
Right.
my
Right.
feelings.
Right.
So, yeah, that was.
And I
quite a
don't
thing.
think anybody can blame you for that because that was just awful.
It started so nice too. I was like, I was pretty happy at the beginning, and then it just didn't stay good.
Yeah, every so often you get a seed that starts nice, and then the question is, okay, what's the gimmick?
Yup.
That was the gimmick. And so, with the win, Vascos moves up 1-0 in your series, and I understand your second race is Sunday at 3:30, yes?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. I believe
With how
so too.
close this race was, that is going to be a race to look forward to, guys. So give these runners a follow, as you definitely want to check out their second race. This was a great one. I have a feeling this is going to be another great one.
Yeah, Vascos and I were talking on DM while we were trying to schedule races, and I think we both have pretty similar NMG times and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm glad it was as close as it was, and that I know why. Because yeah, I think we're definitely, it's a good matchup. I'm having fun.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty good.
I definitely had fun getting to call this first race. That's for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, GG to both of you. I'm
Yeah,
looking
and-
forward to Sunday.
Yeah, me too. And GG Vascos, obviously,
Yeah,
for the win.
GG
That was
EmoSaru.
Absolutely
super well
GG
done.
to both of you. Well, I wish I could be here for Sunday, but unfortunately some of us have to work at that time, so I'm hoping that both of you guys have a fantastic race on Sunday, and I will look forward to hopefully a race on Monday.
Well, I'm hoping for that too. Vasco's probably not at this point, but I'm hoping it happens.
I wouldn't mind it. It's more that I don't want to race on Monday.
kind of same. That's why I was really hoping I was going to win this one.
Okay.
Yep, here's to hoping that we have another fantastic race from you guys on Sunday, and hopefully I'll be able to see you guys race on Monday.
Yep.
All
right.
All right. GG's, guys. And with that, that is going to do it for us on this end, as well as the races for today. The only other races on the secondary docket for tomorrow, they start at 11 p.m. for the secondary tournament. It's the only one tomorrow between Maniacal and Zaphod. The primary tournament has races at 5 and 8 on Speed Gaming. The double header starting with Jet versus Mac and X, and El Tigre versus TGH at 8. That one is going to be a lot of fun to watch, as are all these races. And one last time before we head out of here, give our runners a follow, because they both played a fantastic seed and they have more than earned your follow. And also give the crew a follow as well, between the Restreamer, our tracker, and my co-com. And on that note, I say it's about time we wrap this up. Your final thoughts on the seed?
Screw that.
Please not again.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a seed that can die in a countywide tire fire.
Looking forward to more Ganon's Tower double dips.
Oh gosh, no. We wish for that and then we run into him in our run, so I'm not touching that one. So any final thoughts, chats?
Oh, no, thanks to the runners for running, and Who 42 Baker for the restream. Sir Laugh a lot for the tracking. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, it certainly was, and it was a good race as well. And with that, that's gonna do it for us. For Chex Human and everybody behind the scenes, I am Leslie Pro 04. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good night.